You've heard of Santorini, you've seen Mykonos, but Samos. Samos is the Greek island that invented math, flirted with ancient gods, hid pirates in its caves, and still somehow flies under every influencer's radar. It's like if Einstein retired to a beach bar, but with better seafood and fewer camera crews. This isn't just another Greek island. It's where wild peacocks roam monastery gardens, wine is poured like water, and the coastline hides coves so private even Google Maps just shrugs. And if you're still thinking, wait, where is Samos? Perfect. That means you're about to discover one of Greece's most deliciously underrated secrets. Let's start at the top, literally. Mount Kerkis looms like a sleeping god over the island, and hiking its rocky trails feels less like exercise and more like myth-hopping. According to local lore, this mountain is where Hera, queen of the gods, and arguably the original overachiever, was born. Whether or not you're into Greek mythology, it's hard not to feel something when you're standing in a pine forest, looking out at the glittering Aegean, and wondering if Zeus is judging your hiking shoes. But maybe you're more beach towel than trek pole. No judgment, Samos delivers. Tsamadou Beach is a stunner. Pebbles instead of sand, yes, but the kind that sparkle like polished marble. The water is ridiculously clear, like see your soul clear. It's also one of the island's semi-nude beaches, so if you forget your swimsuit, don't panic. Just pretend it's cultural immersion. Then there's Livadaki Beach, a hidden cove that looks like someone bottled turquoise and poured it between the cliffs. To get there, you'll need a bumpy jeep ride or a strong tolerance for walking in flip-flops. But the reward? Hammocks strung over the shallows, cocktails in hollowed-out pineapples, and 0 cruise ships in sight. Pause here, because if you're wondering where to go this summer and don't want to follow the crowds blindly, check out our video on everyone's booking Puglia's coast this summer. Should you? It's got the insider scoop on Italy's sun-drenched secret. But back to Samos, because we haven't even had a glass of wine yet. Samos is a wine heavyweight. We're talking about muscat grapes that taste like sunshine and old love letters. Visit the Samos Wine Museum. Yes, that's a thing. And you'll learn how monks, merchants, and math nerds all helped make this island's wine famous across Europe. You'll also get to taste it, obviously, which is why no one leaves sober or skeptical. Feeling spiritual? Head to Panagia Espiliani, the Cave of the Virgin Mary. It's a literal church built inside a cave, perched above Pythagorion. We'll get to that genius in a second. The air smells like wax, moss, and mystery. It's cool, damp, and eerily quiet. Speaking of Pythagorion, yes, this is where Pythagoras was born. The guy with the triangle. There's a statue of him near the harbor, looking thoughtful and probably wondering why his legacy is tied to high school trauma. But the town itself? Gorgeous. Narrow streets, pastel houses, and a marina full of boats that all look like they've been Instagram filtered in real life. The harbor is lively without being loud. Grab a seat at a waterside taverna, order some grilled octopus, and watch local fishermen bicker like siblings while repairing their nets. Bonus points if you spot the old man who feeds the cats and tells stories about ghosts from the Ottoman era. He's real. Ask for Jorgos. Now, let's talk about tunnels. No, really. The Túnel de Eupalinos is one of the most mind-blowing things you'll see, and it was built in the 6th century BCE. It's a 1,036-meter aqueduct carved straight through a mountain. Why? To sneak water into the ancient city without enemies knowing. How? 2 teams started at opposite ends and met, dead center, with no GPS, lasers, or even walkie-talkies. Just geometry and guts. It's one of the first known engineering projects in the world, and you can walk through it today. Hungry yet? Good. Because Samos feeds you like a Mediterranean grandma who thinks you're too skinny. Start with revatokeftides, crispy chickpea fritters that will make you rethink your relationship with falafel. Then order hoven, baked lamb, and orzo, and definitely don't skip the embutido for dessert, a flaky custard pastry dusted with cinnamon and sugar, aka breakfast if you believe in yourself. For dinner with a side of local gossip, head to Vorliotis, a mountain village where the air is pine-scented and time moves like honey. Locals gather at the Central Square's only cafe, where the house wine is served in copper jugs and the owner's mother still makes the moussaka from scratch. She doesn't speak English. She doesn't need to. And now, for the twist, Samos is practically a swimming pool away from Turkey. Seriously, just 1.3 kilometers separate it from the Turkish coast. On a clear day, you can see villages across the sea, and if you squint, you might even spot a Turkish ferry captain sipping his third tea of the morning. That closeness means the island is a cultural cocktail. Greek Orthodox chapels next to Ottoman ruins, feta and baklava on the same menu, and a constant, quiet sense that borders are more philosophical than real. For something totally off-script, explore Karlovasi. It's Samos's second-largest town, and weirdly underrated. Once rich from the tanning industry, yes, really, the old mansions still stand, half glorious and half ghostly. Nearby, Potami waterfalls offer an unexpected jungle vibe. Hike through dense greenery, cross slippery wooden bridges, and you'll be rewarded with waterfalls cascading into pools cold enough to make you reconsider your life decisions, in a good way. And then there's the monastery circuit. Samos has dozens, but Verdadero Vronta stands out, not just for its dramatic mountaintop views, but for its unbothered peacocks that strut through the courtyards like they own the place. Spoiler, they do. Samos isn't polished. It doesn't try to be. That's the magic. It's a place where mythology feels local, where you can stumble into a Byzantine church after a swim, and where every corner hums with stories. Some ancient, some still unfolding. The nightlife? Low-key, but lovely. A few bars in Pythagorion stay open late with live bouzouki and cocktails that remember the 90s in the best way. If you want clubs and fire dancers, look elsewhere. If you want to slow sip ouzo by the sea while debating whether to swim or sleep, Samos gets you. So, was it worth the click? Samos isn't loud. It doesn't shout for attention, but it lingers. In your nose, thanks to pine, sea air, and grilled fish. In your legs, after that Mount Kerkis hike. And in your brain, when you realize this overlooked island just gave you history, mystery, and beauty without begging for likes. Come curious, come hungry, and come ready to stay longer than you planned. Just remember, if your wine glass is empty, it's not a problem. On Samos, it's a math error.